roof gets replaced in a property. And that's a little tip I want to give everybody. You know, when you have a property get started, you want to make sure you're setting everything up in the order that the work should be getting completed. All right, what's happening, everyone? So we're here, it's the beginning of July 3rd to be exact, and we're standing here outside of a property that got pitched to me just 2 days ago. An agent that's actually buying one of the rental properties. Oh man, it's getting light out here. But yeah, so one of the agents that is actually on the buying side of a property that we're selling up there in Bradenton, he reached out to me the other day. He knows that we deal with properties at this price point and we deal with rehabs. So he reached out to us. He pitched this to us as a property that probably is gonna be a borderline tear down property. So when I hear that from somebody, obviously I'm gonna do a lot of research. We're not the type of buyer, we're not the type of rehabbers that do a lot of new construction, new builds. So when I hear tear down, my ears perk up for two reasons really. One, because I know it's getting pitched to other people as a tear down, which is gonna immediately turn people off. Second reason being, when people say tear down, usually they don't have that much experience rehabbing houses. So what ends up happening is when you hear tear down, people just automatically shut down. They don't want to look at it. They don't even want to go analyze it. And we'll take a property that's borderline tear down and we'll revitalize that property. So it's something that I love to come look at them all the time, no matter what. When I hear that a property is a tear down, I want to go check it out immediately because I know it's a property that's going to need a cash offer, and there's a good chance that we can go in there and actually fix it up and not do a tear down. Yes, we're going to probably have to do a lot of work, but at the end of the day, depending on your neighborhood, new construction might not make sense for what that purchase price might be. So I'm going to turn this around, let you guys see this one. So as you guys can see, it's a frame house. This place is gonna need a lot of work. It's actually, so we got ourselves a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 692 square feet. So it's not gonna be a huge house in terms of rehabbing and what those costs are gonna be, but it can add up quick. I think our guy that's gonna show us the property just got here. We're gonna go in and check it out and get you guys an update. All right, so we just finished up with that showing at this property, the potential tear down, and I took the camera in there, got a few shots, mostly got some photos or video of all the mold in there. A lot of mold in that house. Didn't want to spend too much time with the camera. I just wanted to get in, get out, look at everything. It is a borderline tear down property. You know, the biggest issue with a property like that is we know we're gonna have to actually replace everything in the house. And a lot of times with a house like that, with how much work, one thing that's important on a property like this is probably getting permits, because this is gonna be a project that requires everything. So you might as well have a contractor come in here that could just do one big open permit and knock out a lot of things within that one permit, such as the air conditioning, electric work, things like that, all held under the one permit. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go sit back down at the computer. We're gonna actually go through the list of what we feel this property needs, which I already told you is everything, but it's just running those numbers based on our square footage and the type of materials that we're gonna use on this, and just come up with an accurate rehab number. You know, the interesting thing with this property is the number that it was pitched at does not make sense, but the guy who brought it to me did tell me that he can probably get this property down to closer more like the land value, and probably get my purchase price down another $15,000-$20,000 where this would still make sense. But at the end of the day, even though this is not going to be a lot of money that we would have out on a property like this, I mean, we would probably be under $100,000 for our all-in costs. It's still going to be a lot more time on a property like this because of the scope of work and the good chance that we're going to have permits. So what would normally maybe be a 4 to 6 week rehab could turn into 2-3 months if we have to honestly go through all of the permitting that this place might need. So something for us to take into consideration. Less money, which means less exposure out there, but more time. So there's always different challenges that you're going to run into when you're looking at these numbers, or different scenarios that you might want to actually consider as you're doing this. So we're gonna get back, we're gonna go look at those numbers. Hopefully we can put a deal together on this one, but I keep recording all this. I keep bringing you guys along to all these different properties so that once we finally do lock one up, I'm able to show you guys the entire process, and I'll have documented a lot of this from start to finish. So let's get back. I'm gonna head to the gym right now, get that gym workout in, and then I gotta get 2 offers put together for 2 different properties we looked at. We're here, first duplex I ever purchased that got me into real estate investing. A lot of emotion attached to this one, obviously. But anyways, this is a property where I actually pay the water bill on this property because both the lines are tied together somewhere up the yard here, and they just are going through the same line to both units. So unfortunately on this property, I'm actually paying the water bill. And in the city, the water bill is a little bit pricey. You getting ready to take off? Okay, I'll back up for you. All right, so we're sitting here, we're outside of the duplex, and what happened was we got our bill, and this was about a month and a half ago, and I noticed a $400 charge, which I've averaged between the 2 units $200, and I saw a $400 charge. So I knew something was up, and when you see your bills like that, normally you have a leak somewhere. Usually seeing an increase in the bill that much is not going to be something simple like a dripping toilet or just a small leak, but it can be. So we knew we wanted to make sure that we address that. So first things first, reach out to the property management company, make sure we talk to them, find out what's going on, see if they got a report of anything leaking inside of the unit, anything like that from the tenants, which we did not have. So I knew there was something bigger going on. So when you have a high bill like that, usually the first thing you want to do is just reach out to the water company, the utility company, whoever's in charge of that. You know, ask them what they're seeing on their side, and they're going to tell you that they see high water usage, and they're going to give you maybe some steps or things that you can go check in your property first. For instance, going to see if the flap on the back of the toilet is loose and it's just letting water constantly run. Little things like that. They're going to say make sure all the water's turned off, and then typically what happens is they're going to tell you to go check your meter, and they're going to tell you to check your meter and see if there's this little red spinny device that's on the meters, and they're going to ask you to see if that thing's actually still spinning. Or if you have one of the newer digital meters, which this one has, they don't necessarily have the spinning piece on there. So you're going to want to see if any of the numbers are actually just going up as you sit there and stare at it. If all your water is shut off on the property and you see your meter moving, whether it's spinning or you see the numbers creeping up, you know that there's a leak somewhere, and you got to figure out where that leak is. It just so happens on this property, we had our guys come out and just double check everything. Nothing up at the house level. So we knew there was something else going on. The city came out. City started digging around, and I'm going to turn this around and show you guys. So this tree that you see right here is right here at the street. So you can see it's all torn up. We got our sidewalk over here, we got our duplex right here, and we got this tree. Water meter was right here, right next to this tree. I knew from the day that I purchased this place that at some point that was going to become a problem. Now here we are 2.5 years later, and it did. So now they've moved these. We got 2 different meters here now. Before it was just going through one. So we have our 2 separate meters, brand new, everything's redone. And the city most likely is going to credit my water bill since this was actually on their side of the sidewalk. This is actually part of the city. I'm not going to get a bill for any of this work, and everything should be corrected. But That's why you just got to stay on top of your rentals, make sure you pay attention to things. Luckily, since I'm the one paying the water bill, I quickly noticed that big difference in the price, and we hopped right on it to get it adjusted. And I'm sure what's going to happen is, since the city took care of this incident and realized that the problem happened on their side, they're probably going to credit every single dollar back. Sometimes when it is a little leak, or maybe it was that little bathroom flapper back there, usually what the county or the city will do is actually just do a little proration or give you some sort of a credit since you took care of the problem. But in this situation, I should be safe. I should get all my money back or credited to my next future bills, and we're gonna keep this duplex cash flowing. I hope you guys got something out of that. I just wanted to quickly show you guys what a day in the life of a landlord can be like. Morning, everyone. So we're getting our day started here. We've been sitting at a home inspection now for about 30 minutes. It's packed here. We've got our home inspector sitting right back here. I am representing the seller, and we've got the buyer's agent here. We have the buyer here. We have SOS Septic here doing their septic tank inspection right behind me. So everything is getting knocked out. Oh, and did I forget to mention, we have pest control here too. So we are taking up the street, we are taking up the driveway here, which I love to see this, because what this means is you've got an informed buyer, you've got a buyer who has a good agent who's instructing them to do everything the right way. And when I say the right way, I mean they're getting all of their inspections done. They're getting the pest control, they're getting the full home inspection, and they're getting the septic tank inspection. So their agent has instructed them the right way, which is making sure that they get all those inspections done so there's no unexpected costs that pop up the second that this buyer buys the home, which is very important. So we're gonna knock this inspection out. Once we leave here, we're gonna actually head down. We're gonna show you guys our pine rehab that's going on down there in Osprey, get you guys some updates on that. So stay tuned, let's keep this day rolling. Sitting here at our pine rehab, checking out the air conditioner that's gonna be getting replaced. Check that thing out. What do you guys think? Think that thing needs replacing? I was admiring all these pretty badass license plates back here from different areas, and I noticed this panel. Check this out. I opened up my panel, boom. Isn't that beautiful? So what this is something you see in newer homes nowadays, but it's plumbing. It's for your plumbing. Your main water line comes in, connects here, and then every single location of water is controlled. Hot and cold, has their own shut off. The thing is just being that these pieces are plastic, they're known to break after some years. They just start to get brittle and they break. You can see a couple of them on this one are actually broken off. So what we have to do is just put everything into the on position at the very end, and then everything would just be controlled by the main shutoff valve that's right outside on the side of the house. That's one thing that's pretty neat about this, but this is something newer. We actually don't deal with this in a lot of our properties. We're not usually dealing with houses that had these put into them. So that's pretty neat. I'm actually gonna read up on them some more and just learn about it, as it's something newer. And anything like this that you stumble across, if you don't have somebody on your team or you have a contact that's knowledgeable about it, go do some research and find out. Or use it as a talking point with your plumber the next time you guys are sitting there having a meeting. But I'm gonna close this up. I just snagged myself 2 of those plates because they're pretty cool. I'm gonna throw them in my own garage. But you guys can see behind me, demo is going on. Pine is on its way to getting fully rehabbed. Let's keep it going.
Look at you go. Why you got a picture from me?
Well, you're wearing a mask. No one will see you. All right, so we're just wrapping up over here at Pine. Just did my walk-through. First time checking in since our guys started over here about a week ago. They haven't even been in here a full week, but all the flooring's ripped up. A lot of the demo is done. We've got our hardy board up in the bathrooms. So we're getting to that point where we're ready to start just getting to the cosmetic part of this rehab. But right now they're going around, they're doing the primer. If you guys hear a lot of that noise in the background, they're about to start spraying the ceilings. They're using a sprayer, so a lot of that's gonna come falling down. So we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna move on to our next to-do, which is actually, we got 2 rentals closing tomorrow, which is Friday. One of these properties that we have tenants in, we're ready to list it now that we got a couple of these others about ready to close and a few others pending. We're slowly just bringing those rentals to the retail market as others are selling and going pending. So this property we have, it's 3221 Jolson. We're listing it at $214,777. That is the sales price. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I threw it up first thing this morning. It is tenant occupied, so it's a turnkey rental, but it's a property that's priced well for what it is, being a 3-2. And we'll see what kind of activity and traction we get on that one being a brand new listing. But let's get out of here and keep our day moving forward. So we're gonna pick right back up dealing with a rental property. We just had some tenants move out of one of my partner's properties. I'm gonna head over there, check out what the condition of this property looks like. But first, I gotta stop by our property management office. I gotta actually go grab the keys for the property, and I'm gonna get a lockbox put on over there. But also, property management's been throwing a lot of lockboxes on properties that we're selling for us. So I'm gonna make sure I go drop off a few lockboxes for them as well. But I wanna show you guys what is in the truck of a real estate investor. Here we are. It might look like a mess. It's actually not that bad. First things first, we got our child protection seat. Next, in this F-150, this is a 2013, by the way, you got this awesome seat. Check this out. Boom! You could pretty much fit a single mattress back here if that car seat wasn't in there. But anyways, under here you got some storage, which is nice. I always keep some toilet paper because, well, hey, you guys figure that out. But toilet paper can be used for a lot of things, especially in 2020. Next, we got these cool bendable ties, whatever you want to use them for, hanging things. Right here, we actually have a box. This is what I use for one of my rechargeable flashlights. Just something I picked up off of Amazon, but it's a pretty nice little kit. It lets me use one of my flashlights here, like I said, with a rechargeable or regular batteries. So nice little kit there for charging on the go. And since this truck has your standard 12-volt outlet along with your AC 110 volt, why not? So here's that flashlight. This is the one I use actually in a lot of the houses. It's adjustable. You got this light that can come on right there as well, but you get a nice adjustable beam that you can bring in and out. And I'll tell you what, at that fine point right there, you can look under houses at least 50 feet with this thing. So this is a great little flashlight, but in my bag here, let's get this out of the way. So in my bag, I got another flashlight here on the end I keep with my flathead Phillips. Right here, we got a little electrical tester. I love the electrical testers because it's just a good way to throw this quickly into an outlet and see if you've got open grounds or, you know, whatever the problem might be. You're gonna find it with this little tool right here. Not whatever the problem, but you know what I'm saying. We've got just some basic tools here. You gotta have a wrench when you're dealing with anything plumbing related, and I'm not gonna be out there changing pipes, but if there's a leak on something and I just need to quickly tighten it up, why not be able to do that? We got our battery there, and that's for some of the electrical components over there, or our power tools, I should say. I got a dust buster up there at the top that runs off the rechargeable battery. I got the standard drill, which is a necessity. We got a We Buy Houses sign actually sitting right behind the chair. We've got a spotlight that can hook right up to the 12-volt outlet, which is really neat. So if you're at a house that doesn't have a lot of light, you could actually plug that in and carry that throughout the house. We actually have our battery charger. Under the battery charger is a multi-tool kit, meaning you got different socket sizes in there, different drill bits, everything just in one little nice kit. You can always pick those up anywhere for probably like 20 bucks. Go to Harbor Freight if you really want to save some money. And outside of that, we got some bolt cutters. You can see, when you see that red right there, right in the middle above the gloves, that's a bolt cutter so we can get into locks if something happens to be locked up and we need to get in. We do have our gloves always handy, especially with the houses we go into. A random brush. You can see I got some sponges and just some miscellaneous stuff over there. Some zip ties, hatchet, you know, reachable from the driver's seat. You never know. That is the truck of a real estate investor. What's in your truck? All right, we're here at the rental property. I want to show you guys around real quick. We have the carport over here. What I thought was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath is actually a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. So some positives came out of not comping this property too much before getting out to it. But I'll tell you what, it's just reinforced a lot of the numbers that I looked at. Let me turn this around, show you guys the place. So we have our living room that we're standing in right now, a little eat-in area just off the kitchen, which is nice. A basic galley style kitchen, wood cabinets, you know, really cheap thin cabinets, but they are this type of cabinet that you could just keep painting over and over and putting new hardware on if you need. This is a kitchen that, you know, if we were going to do this kitchen with a full set of appliances, we could be looking at $7,000 to replace this kitchen. These are all numbers you want to consider when you're trying to figure out what it is you're going to be doing with this property at the end. As I walk through this property, I'm running numbers just to get this place cleaned up and livable, like if it was going to be rented again, and also analyzing this property as if it's going to be a full rehab where we do a basic cosmetic rehab and seek a higher price on the MLS. So you can see there's our simple 1 bathroom there that is low cost to fix. If we were doing everything in there, I would just estimate about $3,000 based on the finishes that we would be using and the size of that bathroom. And that is our 3rd bedroom right there that you just saw. So it's kind of a mixed match of blinds throughout this house. I estimated that we got to replace at least 4 of the blinds, that we need to do the bathroom, we need to do the kitchen, we need paint inside at least, we need a pressure cleaning outside, and our grout needs a nice deep clean. This grout is just really dark. If you want to look down there, you can just see this is exactly why I would, when you can see a grout difference of color like that, a deep cleaning can go a major big way on a house like this. It might cost you, you know, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 depending on your contacts and who's doing it and the type of equipment they're using, but it is well worth the money. So our next step is analyze this property in 2 ways. What I just told you, which was just doing a basic cleanup of this property, which would include doing touch-up paint, getting the deep clean done, making sure everything is just clean and functioning, meaning we got closet doors, everything to make it a livable house as if a renter was coming in. Then the other way I'm going to analyze this property is going to be if we were actually doing a light cosmetic rehab on it and seeking that higher max ARV. In the condition that it's in right now, we would probably need to price this property about $20,000 less than what the typical ARV would go for. So the reason being just the way the kitchen looks, the way the bathroom looks. If we were to do those, we can up the value of this property quickly by at least $20,000. So again, I'm gonna go crunch the numbers, see what that true difference really is in the ARVs. I'm thinking in the condition that it's in right now, knowing that it's a 3-bedroom and not a 2-bedroom, I could confidently say that this house would appraise and could fetch around $180,000, just what we were looking to get. I'm gonna go back, reconfirm these numbers. I'll keep you guys posted on what we do with this one, but till then, we got a lot of other properties to get to. So I'll catch you guys later. If you guys are liking this content, please hit like, hit subscribe so you can get notified when you get other videos. I'm at least gonna be trying to get at least 1 video a week up for you guys. We have so many properties going on, it might get a little confusing as I run you around to property after property, but I'm hoping that with each video, there's at least some sort of a gem or piece of information that you're gonna get out of it. And even if it's something that's being repeated or you already heard me say it once before, you know, you might not have seen that video. So I'm hoping that everything I say applies to somebody here in some way or another. And I wanna be as transparent and upfront and honest with you guys about numbers and everything about this business. So feel free to ask me a question in the comments below. But till then, you guys have a great, awesome day. Thank you.